Hi there, good morning. So it's a lovely day today, nice and dry, and I just thought I'll show you the latest update on preparing the ground for the greenhouse. So the stones have been delivered. I chose these ones. They're a nice buff colour with just a sort of a bit of a indentation on the top. So I think they look really pretty. I've been digging away for hours here, so I'm digging out all of the lucifer. This is the lucifer here. So I've dug it all out of this area. And what I don't want, I've just put at the gate with a sign saying help yourself, and already people have started to come and pick bits of that out. I'm busy digging out all the loose strife. It's quite tough around here, the roots, because we've obviously got the tree roots in. So I'll show you what I've done to one of my shovels to start with. So this was the latest casualty. And I'm just sort of trying to visualize whereabouts the greenhouse is going to, which direction the greenhouse is going to come down in. So we've got the marker there and there, and the paving stones are going to come, I'm imagining, down this area. I want to keep this rhododendron and that rhododendron. I'm going to dig out this patch of lucifer and linaria. I'm going to dig out that huge New Zealand satinflower. And really at the back here, it's just a bit of a wilderness, which I'm very excited about getting in there and cultivating that once the greenhouse goes up here, because then I'll be able to look down this area, and it's an area that I just sort of keep choosing not to go into, because I like to sort of be in the prettier part of the garden. Another near casualty that I've just had was that I dug out of this area here. There was a huge fern. So I dug him up, put him in a sack, put him in the car, drove him down to my daughter Jessica's house, where she's got a backyard. We got him out the car. We were busy sort of putting him in a new pot. And then I noticed what I thought was a bird's nest right in the middle of the fern. So we were really anxious and said, oh, are there any eggs in there? And when we opened it up, it's got a tiny little mouse in it, fast asleep. He's not dead, because we've touched him to make sure he wasn't dead. And he's warm and he's soft. So we covered him back up, put him back in the car, brought him up here, and I'll show you him. I've put him in the fern in the back garden. So here we are. It's the first week in September. And I don't know, Tracy, the wildlife gardener who subscribes, you'll know this. Is that not too early for a little field mouse to be hibernating? I don't know. Anyway, he seems fine, and he'll wake up in a different part of the garden, but in his same nest and in the same type of fern. So I'll take you around and I'll show you him. We've called him Stanley. And I've popped Stanley. He was just near the surface. I'm not going to open his nest up again, but he's inside there. And then round the front of the border, I've got lots of things that I want to keep. They don't look much at the moment, but I know what they are. So this is a big patch of white daisy. I want to keep him. This is geum, and this patch of geum here with the stick there, which has got knocked, that is the big orange geum that I dug out of the back garden, and I just split it up into about 8 or 9 pieces, transplanted him around the garden. So he's doing really well. I'll put him somewhere else. I've got pulmonaria. There is pulmonaria over there. There's London Pride all the way along here. And then that deep purple wild geranium. So this is the time consuming, well, one of the time consuming parts of moving things around the garden is digging each individual plant out and finding a space for it elsewhere. But very exciting. Right, so we've cleared the area. So this is where the paving stones are going to be laid. This tarpaulin, the blue tarpaulin here, are all the little plants that I'm going to keep. I've got lovely clumps of daisy down here and the loose strife, so that's for tomorrow. I'll sort out where all these plants are going to go, and this is just rubbish. So what we're going to do now, I have got help, is we're going to decide how much of the lawn we're going to take up for the front of the greenhouse here, and we're going to work backwards, and we're going to lay the paving stones out just to get a visual. I know it means that we've got to stack them all up again and then prepare the ground and get the sand and whatever it is delivered. But I want to see how far back the greenhouse will go and if these rhododendrons can stay. Right, so that's the paving stones laid down. Go back up the garden. So again, it looks a lot bigger when you see that sort of horizontal platform, but I don't think it's too big. The rhododendrons at the back are great. They don't have to be moved. So it's 2 days later. I've dug out everything from this area that I want to keep. And that is, I've potted it all up here. All these plants here. So I've got a nice assortment there, which I will need when I start cultivating that back wilderness there. So we mapped the greenhouse out with string, so we've got more of a visual impression of what it's going to be like, and we've hit a snag. This is the beautiful cherry tree. He's very substantial. And this is a root. So we've moved the site of the greenhouse slightly like this, thinking it would make a big difference here, but actually if you look closely here, so this was the original line of the greenhouse and this is the new line following that path, and it really only makes a 1 centimetre difference at the other side on that stump. So what I would prefer is to put it back the way it was, which is this position here, which I know it doesn't look much, but it gives me a strip of soil that sort of goes out a bit and down to a point here, between the edge of the new paving and this brick path. And it means that I can plant this out with London Pride or something like that, and it'll just soften that transition between the paving and the brick. So I'm happier with it the original way, with this strip of soil. So I think all I've got to do now is to tidy this bit of the garden up now, and then I think that's it for today. But do stay tuned. I'll be putting a follow-up video of the next stage, because tomorrow we're going to order the hardcore and the sand and everything, and we're going to dig this area out and then lay it ready for the paving stones to go down. That's the next bit. So thanks for watching. Take care. Bye.